WQB, Vail.
Happy Friday. It is June 23rd. We are easing into the weekend here. I'm your host, Kim Perrow. We've got a lot on this morning's show, lots of conversations about business, where you can go. Mark is out in the community today talking about fly fishing and the weather report. We've got a lot more going on. Today is cycle themed, so if you are looking for fun things to do with your bicycle and want to hear more about how you can contribute to that community, we'll be here. Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. Your coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. Last week I got to be in the studio with Kim just the other day. Also get to make my way back out into nature over the course of our show this morning. We have Kim in the studio. Let's take a look at our weather report for Friday, then we'll jump ahead and take a look at the entire weekend, the next 5 days. Basically, sunshine is what we have in store. Finally, summer is upon us. We're going to see a temperature of about 57 degrees first thing this morning. We'll see a high temperature midday, probably 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, around 75 in Vail. It's going to be a breezy day, a windy day. Winds 20 to 25 miles per hour, but lots of sunshine all around Eagle County, really all the way out to the west. As we look at your hourly forecast, you can see temperatures warming up dramatically once that sun makes its way up and over the hillside. 69 around noon, 73 degrees around 4 p.m. and this evening, 66 to start at 8 o'clock tonight. Sunshine all day long. Denver temperatures today, 88 degrees, partly cloudy skies along the Front Range. And then for Vail, 75, for Avon, 76. And then for Eagle, 80 degrees and dusty down in Eagle today. Keep that in mind because of that breeze, that wind, 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tonight we'll see a low of 43 degrees, 10% chance of maybe some moisture, but not much of anything happening. It's going to be relatively clear. Sun setting at 8:38. And then as we jump ahead for that 5-day, temperatures 70 degrees for Saturday, and then we're going to see mid to upper 70s all the way through the middle of next week with lots of sunshine coming our way also. So just sunshine for all of us the next 4 or 5 days. Put your sunscreen on, apply it often, and also hydrate while you're out there, whether you're going for a bike ride, playing golf, going fishing, going for a hike, all the wonderful activities that we have to offer right here in Vail. And it's not just about the athletic events and the way to get out and do some exercising. There's a lot going on this weekend. This is market weekend once again. So tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 to 2 in Minturn, it's going to be the 26th anniversary year for the second installment this year of the Minturn Market. It's hosted by the town of Minturn. It is the original Eagle County market and locals' favorite. It's a true family-friendly artisan market showcasing a variety of local products. They've got food trucks, they've got fresh produce, baked goods, arts and pottery, clothing and jewelry, pet products. There's also going to be live music, live glass blowing, whiskey and wine tastings, a kids zone. We're going to have some music happening 9:30 to 11:30 today. Tomorrow will be Jen Mack, and then after that from 12 to 2 will be Tim Campbell. And then on Sunday, we have the Vail Farmers Market, and that takes place all along Gore Creek Drive, West Gore Creek Drive, and that's going to be 9:30 to 3:30. This is the 23rd year for this event, 148 tents, 17 Sundays of the entire summer, and the vendors have been hand-picked to accommodate the guests that we have. So we got the Vail Farmers Market Sunday, we have the Minturn Market tomorrow on Saturday. Just a market weekend, lots of sunshine. It's going to be a lot of fun. And another thing that is kicking off, it actually kicked off last night this year. Back in 1987 is when Bravo Vail started, founded by the executive director, John Giovando. It's grown over the years immensely. We've got symphonies, orchestras, classical music. Tomorrow night, We've got the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, music director and superstar violinist Joshua Bells joining the ensemble in Bach's Violin Concerto in A minor. That's going to be taking place tomorrow at Bravo Vail at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. Bravo will be going on, honestly, for the next, I want to say for the next 4 or 5 weeks anyways, especially into August, all the way through July. So you get a chance to get out and go sit on the grass or sit in a chair over at the amphitheater and listen to some classical music. One of my favorite things to do in the summertime, because Gore Creek runs behind the amphitheater, is to go fish in the river while I'm listening to live classical music or symphonies. It's spectacular. You can go to Bravo Vail for more of that information. All right, we got a quick break coming at you. I've got some fishing report action. We have Kim in the studio. It's going to be a good Friday for Good Morning Vail. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today, or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Welcome back to this Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. Loved seeing Mark out and about. Looks like he is out on that adventure hike. We have a lot going on in the community. But importantly, it is also good to know about business acumen and how you can better professionally or advance your professional career. Let's take a look at our adventures in coaching. So pop on over and let's see what they have going on.
Welcome to TV8's newest segment. It's called Adventures in Coaching, and it's here to help you grow personally and professionally. And we've got Kim Smith, the expert, joining us. Kim, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and talk to you about all of this.
I'm excited to have you here only because I think powerful women are my most favorite thing, and you are definitely a force to be reckoned with here in our community. So I'm very excited to have you.
Thank you.
Now, let's just dive right into it because we've got a lot of things that we're going to cover over the expansion of some time here on the couch. And so my first question is, what is coaching?
That is a great question, Maddie. And, a lot of people, I think, are confused a little bit about that. And I just want to clarify that what it's not therapy, it's not advice, and it's not sports coaching, although we do take a lot of things from sports coaching. In other words, really trying to push you beyond maybe your limits and to set goals and to hold you accountable to, what you decide is important to you.
Which I think a lot of people in certain areas start to struggle with. And so what is your story and how did you get into coaching?
Yeah, that's a great question also. For me, it really came naturally. I was always, even as a young person, really trying to help people and interested in helping, them improve their lives. And I had a long career in marketing and sales, and I worked in on the agency side of things, and in the snow sports industry, and then in tourism. And all the while, I had this small voice in my head that kept saying, you really want to help people more. How do you get out there and do that? And while I was loving my career and I had climbed the ladder, so to speak, and had a lot of accomplishments, there were things that just started to, resonate with me outside of those careers, and really getting into helping people was one of those things that just kept bubbling up and saying, why don't you go ahead and take a leap of faith and do this? And so I finally decided to leave my career and get certified in coaching. And I had a couple of iterations as I went through all of that, and I'm now doing that full time, and I'm absolutely loving it. And it's really where I get, my joy and my purpose is around helping others to really reach their potential.
Which is so cool because you hear of these people that are empaths and they spend their time filling other people's cup in order to fill their own cup, and it sounds like you get the pleasure of doing that in your career. And because you spent so much time in this corporate world, you also have this kind of mindset of how you can help people grow professionally. Exactly.
And yes, it does fill my cup helping others and seeing their process and witnessing change and helping to empower people and enable people to do that is just huge. And I really focus on people working on their careers and with leaders within businesses and teams within businesses themselves, and working with trying to really identify, what that person's purpose is, or a team purpose, and finding out the ways to get there, as well as removing roadblocks that might be getting in the way of their success.
I think it's so important that people take the time to realize that they need that little bit of extra motivation, and this coaching is something that can help them successfully push themselves through that almost like writer's block that we come across in our lives and in our careers. And so you've been doing this for quite some time. What are some of the challenges that you've heard clients complain about?
And I love what you said, that analogy. People come to me because they are maybe feeling stuck in what they want to do. Maybe they've had an idea germinating in their head for a long time. They just don't know how to get it from here to, there and then move it forward. And I think that's pretty normal. A lot of us have ideas and think like, oh, I want to do this. I want to work on my career. I maybe want to go into an entrepreneurial business. How do I get there? And rather than just continually, ruminating about it, a coach will really help you pull that out, figure out what's important, how do we take those next steps, and what do those look like, and then how can you hold yourself accountable? And a coach will help hold you accountable to those goals that you've set up.
Which I think is something that so many people lack, the discipline of taking the things from their brain, putting them on paper, and then executing them. Yeah. I know that I really struggle with that in certain areas of my life, and so just to have that little bit of extra motivation helps so much. Now, as people are starting to kind of get a coach and work through these processes, what are some of the things that they can expect from the coach?
So first of all, I really, I'll do an intake, so to speak, to, or discovery, whatever we want to call it, but looking at, what is going on and where do you think you want to go? And oftentimes what happens through the process is we find out that what you think you might want to do isn't really aligned with your purpose and what what will really make you successful. So I'll usually take a step back at that point and look at, what is that person's purpose? Have they ever decided what that is, or have they ever clarified that for themselves? Because that can be your foundation. And we'll go into purpose a little bit more in another segment. But that's really, I like to start there and kind of dig around. And, I was saying that, it's not so much about looking at your past, but oftentimes there are things in our past that are holding us back from success. Maybe, we don't really know why they're there, or they're a limiting belief. You might have heard that term, limiting beliefs, or little gremlins that are saying, oh, I'm not good enough, or I've got self-doubt around this.
Those mean voices in your head that sometimes you got to work towards shutting off.
Yeah, and so those come up inevitably with everybody I work with. And so we do take a look at that and try to, create the courage to walk through a lot of those fears, or, real, or maybe they're made up fears. Maybe something really did happen in the past that we need to look at. But whatever it is, that's always been a part of, or that will be a part of the conversation.
Now, as people are starting to get interested in getting a coach, what's the time frame like when you guys start working together to when you can kind of execute this plan to move forward?
I like to say that about a 9-week session, or group of sessions, is where you really start to see progress. So if somebody says, oh, I'm going to go to a coach 1 or 2 times, oh, it didn't work, I'm moving on. It's like you've got to give it some time, because more and more things will be revealed as you're working through things. It's not just a one and done. That being said, I don't look at coaching as, like sometimes therapists, work with somebody for years and years. This is more short term. We want to try to get those results and move you forward quickly.
And seeing a coach is like dating someone. You can't just go on 2 dates and be like, this isn't for me. You have to spend some time to get to know them, because you do have to set those boundaries and really learn each other and how you guys work well with each other. It's like forming a whole new relationship. It
really is. And it's amazing, like the first time, people tend to really not want to talk too much, or they don't know what to talk about. But that's my job, to start really pulling that out of the person, make them feel comfortable, and figure out, where they really want to go and why.
Now, as you are bringing in new clients, who is it that you work with?
So I call myself a career and business success coach. So I work with people that are working on their careers, looking to make change. Maybe there's a transition that they want to go to another business and they don't know what that industry is, or they want to grow within their own organization. And I also work with businesses that are, maybe they have leaders inside the organization that, they would like to have coached. As well as teams, to develop synergy amongst that team, to be able to move that team forward based on their purpose and their goals and desires. So,
which I think is so cool. It's like having one of those group projects in school where maybe someone feels like they have to pull a majority of the weight. To have someone like you come in and then delegate a little bit more clearly and bring that team together to work better together so that everything just can start to roll forward is really cool. Now, as you're kind of coaching these teams, do you feel like you ever have any challenges with a larger group of people?
Oh, absolutely, because there's always 1 or 2 people that are like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. And, they've got their body language, arms crossed, and they're not sure that, why they're there. And, I can, when I'm working with groups or teams, I will coach people individually, with the whole team. And sometimes I'll just have to pull them aside and say, hey, what's going on for you? And, I really try to meet people where they are at and figure out what's going on for them. Because ideally with a team, you want to get everybody on the same page. But yeah, there's people that we're humans, right? We're going to bring our stuff, everything that we have from our whole life, into work, into our business. So, yeah.
I mean, I think what you do is so incredible, and I also think that it's always those people that you see that are so closed off that eventually come around, and they're the ones who benefit the most, because you totally change their perspectives on from where they started to where they are in your sessions.
Right. And I think that's a really good point there, because coaching, a lot of it is about reframing a situation. And instead of being like, oh, poor me, this has happened, or I'm not happy with this, or whatever, looking at it from different points of view can help you look at the opportunity versus the problem.
Which I think that perspective shift is probably one of the largest benefits from getting a coach. And so now, as we're talking about benefits of coaching, what are some of the other ones that people can expect from kind of going through this tribulation with you?
I would definitely say, determining what your purpose is, your why, your reason for being, finding out like what it is that you want to do, and how can you bring that purpose into your workplace or into your life, and it's really a matter of kind of going through some of those things, but also getting results. I mean, ultimately, coaching is about getting results and taking action, moving you forward, and holding you accountable. So I can't, everybody's journey is different. That's why I call it adventures in coaching. It's an adventure. There's never a straight line from like what you think is in here to your final goal. You're always going to be zigzagging and finding different ways. And I think some people think that it's like, one straight shot, but it's important to know that, it does take some time, and to give yourself permission to, explore a little bit over here if you think that that's interesting, or maybe this didn't work out exactly as you thought. So what is it, and how do we get back on track?
I think these are all such great benefits that people could really use in their day-to-day life, but also in their personal and professional development. Now, we're going to do a few of these sessions, so what other things can we expect from Adventures in Coaching?
So coming up next is we're going to be talking about purpose and mission and why that's so important. I'll be talking about leadership skills, women in business and the challenges that women have in business. Some things around communication, emotional intelligence, and just, figuring out like how to set goals and how do you really hold yourself accountable to those goals. So those are just a few of the things we'll be talking about.
Kim, I'm so excited to continue to spend time with you so I can keep learning from you just from sitting here. I think what you do is so incredible. And like I said earlier, I think you are a force to be reckoned with.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be here. I really appreciate it.
Make sure that you continue to stay tuned, as we are going to continue our adventures in coaching, only because we're here to help you with your personal and your professional development. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you into Rugs Benedict to come explore our 12,000 square foot showroom. We've been serving the Vail Valley for over 50 years now with flooring needs, and we inventory a ton of product from Carpet One to provide the very best values, highest style. We just built a warehouse, 15,000 square foot warehouse in gypsum. So we have over 120 different broadloom carpets. We have a lot of waterproof wood flooring, things that we can install right away. We have employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty. Many of them have been with us for decades, and they're true craftsmen in their work. They're absolutely extraordinary at installing any of the flooring that we provide. We also have over 1,000 area rugs in stock right now, and they start at 2x3s. I could bring these into the studio today, but they go all the way up to 12x16s, and we have them hanging on the racks just like shopping for clothing. So it's very easy for you to just flip through, see what's available. We'll deliver them to your house so you can check out how they look in your space with your lighting. All different sizes, all different shapes, some things that are going to be a little bit more contemporary, as well as tribal, traditional, all the latest and greatest looks. We have things that are hand knotted, silk, woolen silk options, all the way down to some machine-made indoor-outdoor type rugs. So really anything that you're looking for your business, for your home, for a rental, Rugs Benedict can provide it. And one thing I consistently hear when people leave our showroom is, that was so easy, thank you so much. So we make the process very easy. Come in, take a look, and we'd love to offer you a free estimate. Look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
Everybody, welcome back to the show down here on the Eagle River. I'm just east of Dow Junction where the Gore Creek flows into the Eagle River. I got a fishing report coming up momentarily right around the corner, but let's take a look at your weather for the day. As we pull up the maps, you can see sunshine making its way up and over the hill, bright blue skies for us today. We are going to see windy conditions all around Eagle County, 20 to 25 miles per hour. But it's going to be a nice day. We're going to see 57 at 8 o'clock. We're going to see a high in Vail today of about 75 degrees and sunshine for us all around Eagle County. As you look at your hourly forecast, you'll see sunshine all day long. Temperatures midday, about noontime, 69, breaking 70 degrees around lunch. And then we'll see 73 at 4 p.m., our warmest time of the day, 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, around 75 degrees. Going to be warm in Denver today with a high of 88 degrees, partly cloudy skies there. Sunny for Vail, Avon, and Eagle. 75 for Vail for a high, Avon 76, and Eagle 80 degrees for that high temperature. And with that wind, it will be dusty all around Eagle County, especially down to the west towards Eagle and Gypsum. Tonight, lows about 43 degrees, 10% chance of clear skies, sun setting at 8:38 once again. And then for Saturday, our 5-day forecast looks pretty good. Sunny for Saturday with a high of 70 in Vail. Sunny for Sunday with a high of 76. Don't forget, Vail Farmers Market on Sunday, Minturn Market on Saturday. And then sunny and a high of 78 on Monday. Mostly sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 78 in Vail. And then for Wednesday, we're going to see a high of 76 and bright sunshine. Once again, this weather report brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, located right in the heart of Avon. And I got a fishing report coming up. If you need any fishing gear, swing by Sun and Ski Sports. Fishing report coming up next. All right, I got my little table set up. Hopefully you all can see what's going on right here. I got my rod. I'm starting to rig that thing up in case I can go do a little bit of fishing. But I want to talk about a little bit of a shift in what's happening out here on our rivers now. As we talk about the flows on the Eagle River, we're still holding pretty tall, pretty high levels of water with all this warm weather and that upper level snowmelt coming down now. We're seeing a little over 1,600 cubic feet per second on the Eagle. And this is going to be your temperature, your reading gauge right in the Avon area. But as that's happening, though, they are continuing to slowly drop. They go up during the daytime and they drop down, and it's kind of cyclic that way. But they are starting to stabilize a little bit more. But we're going to see flows at these higher levels for quite a bit now, I think. But the river is generally very clear east of Walcott. Now, with that being said, I've had some clients go out with a couple of our guides once again the past handful of days, and they sent me some photographs. I want to share with you what we're looking at right now. We've got first photo, I think, is Johnny Anderson, one of my guides, with a big trout that he caught recently. Good fishing right now, believe it or not. Next photo, I've got Tom Rushlow, one of my senior guides, with his family. His family just came to visit. They came up, I think, from Texas. And all the rest of these photos are Tom and his family having a good old day on the river. And it honestly is a spectacular way to get out and see some beautiful scenery and be in a safe environment, doing something that most people don't ever get a chance to do. Fly fishing is kind of, there's a lure to it. There's something about it that people want to find out more. And most people have grown up doing spin fishing or bait fishing. The fly fishing just adds another layer to it. So I'm going to talk briefly, if you guys can see okay. Obviously, bugs are the main thing that the fish feed on in the river, and the water temperatures need to be a certain temperature for the bugs to wake up and to hatch and to rise. We're not seeing a lot of dry fly and surface activity right now, but we're starting to see the fish key in on caddis, which is a very a very dominant food source for the fish in our local rivers here over the course of the summer. Now, caddis, little caddis, the pupa and the larva, I'm not sure if you can even see that. They all have a green tint to them. The green is kind of the giveaway. So if you're gonna go out and fish on your own, fish with something that has a little bit of green that looks buggy. This is another little caddis soft tackle variation that's got some very buggy-like characteristics to it with a little bit of flash up top here. And then this particular bug is my bug. It's called the Sassi solution, and it's got a lot of green on the back too. You need something with some weight that's gonna help get your flies down. We're starting to shift gears and use finer tippet, so, I mean, 5X, 5.5X, going down to 6X, always safe. And then make sure, once again, you're using an indicator that's gonna be able to support, the weight of the bugs below it. What you're looking for is just being able to get your bugs down into the zone where the fish are. They are, like I said, looking at the caddis more often now, but once again, if it's buggy looking and it's right in front of them, since they're hungry right now because of the big water we've seen for so long, chances are they are going to feed on it and eat it. So keep that in mind. If you want to go on a fishing trip with us over at Minturn Anglers, give us a call. I'll be in the shop a little bit later today. We're right there in Minturn. If you're swinging by Minturn for the market tomorrow, come in the fly shop and talk fishing with us, because it is a way to spend some great time. All right, we're going to take a quick break from our Friday edition of Good Morning Vail. And when we come back, we have a great interview with a company called The Cycle Effect, and they are empowering young women through mountain biking, and they're celebrating a big milestone. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Vail.
TV8 se complace en compartir que nos estamos preparando para lanzar nueva programación en español. Pero antes de hacerlo, queremos saber de ti, nuestra increíble comunidad, sobre lo que tú quieres ver. Por eso, te invitamos a un evento especial en nuestro estudio el 12 de julio a las 6 de la tarde. Ven a compartir tus ideas, opiniones y visiones sobre el futuro de nuestra programación en español. Ya sean eventos locales, programas educativos o entretenimiento, queremos que tú formes parte de este proceso y ayudes a dar forma a nuestra programación. No te pierdas esta maravillosa oportunidad de ser parte de televisión que te refleja y te representa. Para más información y para confirmar tu asistencia, visita tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to share that we're preparing to launch new programming in Spanish. But before we do, we want to hear from you, our incredible community, about what you want to see. That's why we invite you to a special event at our studio on July 12th at 6 p.m. Come share your ideas, opinions, and visions regarding the future of our Spanish programming. Whether it's local events, educational programs, or entertainment, we want you to be a part of this process and help shape our Spanish programming. Don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity to be a part of television that reflects and represents you. For full details and to RSVP, visit tv8vail.com.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Good morning, Vail.
welcome back. We are here in studio with our next guest. We've got the founder of the Cycle Effect, Brett Donaldson, joining us to talk about all things that they have going on and the latest and greatest adventures. So Brett, welcome to the show. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, wonderful Friday morning. It looks like we've got a beautiful weather this weekend. So
absolutely.
Let's talk about the Cycle Effect. Tell
Sure.
me a bit about it, and how did you get started?
Sure. So we help 10 to 18-year-old girls ride and race mountain bikes. We work mostly with the Latina population locally. We have programs in Mesa County, Routt County, Summit County, and Eagle County. And so we use the bike as a tool to help mentor these young women, whether that's helping them with social emotional skills, whether that's just being a friend and a safe place to go and talk. Obviously the bike is the focus, but we really do a lot of mentoring and coaching beyond that. We run our programs pretty much year round, so it's a little different than a lot of other bike experiences where they get like a week of biking and then they kind of go back to their life. We really try to build it a lifestyle where they graduate high school, you take their bike and go to college and things like that. So so it's a really kind of wraparound program in that sense. So we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary right now, so just surviving to now is great.
10 years is incredible.
Yeah,
congratulations.
so thank you, and we kind of just keep seeing growth and new opportunities and keep taking advantage of them. So it started really basically with my wife Tam and I, who's the other co-founder, just riding bikes with some kids and then seeing that there was an opportunity to do more and more, and we've just kind of kept saying yes to those opportunities.
I love that.
There wasn't some big business plan for it, and I had no nonprofit experience or anything like that. It's just kind of saying we're really passionate about this and let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah, I love that. And so you mentioned you do racing and just recreational. So tell me a little bit about coaching and what that looks like.
Yeah. So we try to, I believe that the emotion you feel at the start of a start line of any sort of race, whether it's a big race or a small race, is very similar to the emotion you feel when you come on TV and talk or go to a job interview or a final in college or something like that. So we really think that racing, we don't care how anybody does. We just care that they're being able to acknowledge those emotions, feel what they're like, and then kind of move through them and realize, hey, they weren't that bad, and taking on big and scary things is good for you. So that's kind of the racing piece. We have some girls that will race 30 times with us in a year. We have most of the girls we try to get to race once or twice a year. So it's very, very basic. And most of the girls are not there to race at all. They're there because of their coaches or their friends, and that safe space to talk about everything that's going on in their lives. And we know that right now our youth are going through a lot. So we really don't focus on the racing a ton, but for those girls that want it, we definitely have the capacity to help them do whatever they want in the racing world.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So 10 years in the making.
Sure.
Talk about your proudest moment to date and what that looks like.
So when we started, we really had no idea if we were going to make a difference, right? We thought we did. We've coached a lot of athletes, and we thought like this is really good for them, but we had no idea. And so making our 10-year anniversary video that's going to be out on our YouTube channel in about a week or so, I got to interview about 6 or 7 of our alumni, some of our first participants, and some of them I hadn't seen in 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And so they were able to come back and tell us like truly the massive impact we had on their lives. Some of them definitely just self-proclaimed that we changed their lives in huge ways. So I think that's one of the proudest moments. I mean, I could go back. There are hundreds and hundreds of these moments, but really that's the most fresh one in my mind, where we said, hey, we really did actually have an impact. Was it the exact impact we thought? I don't know, but it was a great impact on this athlete, and now they're 25 years old, raising families, working in the Valley, in professional careers and stuff like that. So I think that was probably the most recent one.
Yeah, that's incredible. I think as a new mountain summer sport athlete myself,
sure, yeah.
I think being able to really like jump into the community and feel like you can accomplish something, because mountain biking it's fun.
Sure.
It's also very adrenaline and driven and also intense. So that's really cool that you're empowering women and young girls to get in there and to not be afraid of things.
Yeah. So there's I guess a couple other proud moments is like we've built a staff of now 12-ish full-time staff members, but we also have about 50 part-time coaches. And so it's really fun to know that two coaches didn't know each other before a month ago, and now they're like going to Moab to ride together or something like that. So we've really built an amazing coach and mentor community. And then the last piece, I guess, is in order to get more girls into our program, we've started working with adult women. So we have a group called the Mujeres y Pedales group, which means women in pedals in Spanish. And so these women show up and they're speaking all in Spanish, and they've never really spent time on mountain bikes. And that's really fun to watch this group week in, week out show up with 20, 25 women showing up to ride bikes together and learn the sport and stuff like that. So, again, that's hopefully recruiting girls, their daughters, their nieces, their nephews, and just getting the word out in the community. But really, it's super fun to watch these women as well ride bikes.
Such an incredible community
so
building piece that you are. So talk to me a little bit about what the programs look like. So do they come weekly? Do they come daily? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So we start, we'll start, let's say, around February 1st. Different counties are somewhat different. But we work indoors with them, doing physical fitness stuff and strength training and stuff like that, Monday, Wednesday afternoons, all the way until about mid-April. And that's when the snow melts and people can get out on bikes. And we do a couple weeks of kind of in-person, in like a parking lot training, like skills training and stuff like that. And then we get them out on trails when the trails are allowed. So, and it's basically every Monday, Wednesday afternoon for the last 10 years, and that's the schedule that we think works best. Some of our counties will go in the morning during the summer just because it's so hot, like in Grand Junction and stuff like that. But really, it's a standard 2.5 hour practice where the girls show up. We talk about a mentorship topic. We talk about like a safety or a skill, and then we go out and ride bikes. And so, we're riding all through all the trails locally here. We certainly have girls that can ride almost pretty much everything here, and they ride it fast, and then they go out and race. And so those are on Wednesday nights, the local series. We do a lot of those. So that's about how we do it.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So 10th anniversary. You're a nonprofit. Talk to me about any sort of fundraising efforts or initiatives you have going on.
So we have events throughout the year. We're in the middle of our biggest fundraising campaign push right now. So we have a virtual campaign on our website, thecycleeffect.org. And we have a $150,000 match right now that generous donors have offered us through this June event. So we will get hopefully the virtual campaign, which is what I'm talking about here, is like people go on, they get inspired by the videos we share, or they sign up for our newsletter and they get the information, they really like what we do, and then they go on and support us. And whether it's a $5 gift or a significantly larger gift, we'll obviously take it all, and all of it counts, and it's all great. That's kind of what we're doing right now. And then we are planning a fall event that I can't really talk about too much yet, but it'll definitely have to do with bikes and things like that. That'll be really fun, and I think really a unique community event for sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So on the website is the fundraising event, and you mentioned, is it just through June, or tell us a little bit about the
so it's really, we don't keep it open forever. It's basically 2 weeks right now from until about July 1st. And so we have a couple different things on our social media, and it's kind of the 10 reasons to give, the 10 biggest impacts, things like that. So really people can get a good idea of what we've been doing over the last 10 years. And then again, the videos will be inspiring for sure. And hopefully people give.
Well, I think it's so wonderful what you're doing, especially giving young girls to have an outlet outside of after school during the summer programs. I think it's really important to be active, and it helps with just professional and personal development as you age. And so,
well, and I think the biggest thing that we're seeing is everybody knows that our youth are struggling with mental health and things like that. And I think that this is a really amazing proactive way to get them out and starting to deal with some of those things before it goes down a road that goes too far and things like that. So we see a lot of that feedback from our girls now, especially after COVID, where they were so isolated and so just connected to their phones. Getting them out into the outdoors is super important, and it seems to be working.
Awesome. So how many girls do you have in the program right now?
So in this year we're going to have about 300 girls in our program throughout all our counties, and then we also do about 600 to 800 we'll work with another 600 to 800 kids through outreach programs through schools and stuff like that. The women's group has probably about 70 women in it. We also match a bunch of bikes to community members, so there's probably another 100 lives impacted there and stuff like that. So we have these kind of smaller programs, but the main core program is trying to work with about 300 girls.
Oh, Brett, it is just absolutely incredible how
Thank
much
you.
you've grown it in 10 years.
Yeah,
and,
it's been
and
fun.
hearing all of the different ways that you can get involved is awesome. So tell us where to go one more time
Sure,
for donations, for more information, for volunteering opportunities.
Yeah. Our website, thecycleeffect.org, is the best place to donate. I would definitely follow us on Instagram, I think, or Facebook, both. Those are kind of our two main social media channels. So I would go there, and our website has volunteer opportunities, it has giving opportunities, and just more information.
Awesome. Well, Brett, we love having you on the show. I think
Thanks.
It's so exciting that you've hit 10 years. Hopefully you have another 10 years. You're going to keep going and
Absolutely.
keep growing this program throughout the state of Colorado, and who knows, maybe somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Maybe other states as well. Now stay tuned. We have a lot more here in the next hour and a half of our show, so grab that cup of coffee, go enjoy the sunshine for a minute. We'll be right back after this break.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you're making your way out to do any water activities, it's important that you have the right protection with you, and especially since our water levels are so high from all of that precipitation that we saw over the course of the winter and now that snow runoff. So right now, I've got the Onyx Move Vent Life Vest in front of me. This vest has some great features to it, one of which being soft, lightweight foam flotation. Now, if you are looking for this in your kayaks or in your canoes and you want that nice mesh back, well, then it has that feature, making it more comfortable for you to sit anywhere where there's a high back and you need to be nice and safe out there. Now, as you're making your way out into the water, there is a built-in whistle so that if you need to be heard, you can make yourself heard with this lovely whistle. There's also some nice reflection pieces, making it easy for you to be seen as you're out there, and especially if you're doing it first thing in the morning or later into the afternoon when you're out there on the rivers or on the lakes. So make sure that you stop by Sun and Ski Sports and you check out all of their great inventory for these nice pieces that are going to keep you safe out there on the waters. Now, you can always go to their website at sunandski.com for some more information or for some more fabulous products that'll keep you safe out there on the water.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Snooki and Scott show. We are feeling good today. Great show on the way.
Absolutely. Welcome to our show. I'm Suki.
Hi, Scott.
And we are feeling good today. You know why? Because we had a great show.
Hi, it's Julio from TV8 Vail. Do you ever wonder why our tagline is "There's more for you on 92"? Because we're always bringing you more. More Good Morning Vail from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. all year long. More local coverage with Vail Vibes and Covered Bridge on TV8. More opportunities to participate with new roundtable panels on mountain perspectives and our new Spanish programming block coming this fall. Find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92, on YouTube, or our website at tv8vail.com.
Good morning, Vail.
All right, made my way back down into the river. I got those bugs set up that I shared with you. My plan of attack here is to look on the river for any kind of softer water. It's moving pretty fast out here in the middle, so it's going to take a lot of weight to get down to where the fish are. But along the edges here, like these little areas right here, is probably where you're going to be able to find some fish. So my plan is to take that Sassi solution and that little caddis right there, put them in the river and see if I can't find a trout. A great way to get around. I want to mention this real quick before I get onto the river and start doing some fishing. We'll come back to me in a bit, see if I can't find a trout. If you want to buzz around on some electric bikes, and have some fun. We have an outdoor adventure. Maddie from the TV8 studios met up with Chris Bavona, who is the owner of Ski Town All-Stars, and he is a local supplier and retail sales guy for a great electric cool bike called the Super 73. Let's take a look at their outdoor adventure.
When you think of summertime, don't you think of getting out and riding your bike around? Well, Chris Bavona from Ski Town All-Stars has us on some lovely trusted steeds here. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Maddie.
These bikes are pretty cool.
They are super. 73.
That's it. They are super.
They're Super 73s, correct.
And so what makes these bikes so special compared to some of the other ones that you see around town?
So this brand I've been following for a while. They just have a really cool styling, kind of like that old cafe racer. They've got a pretty amazing range. They're fast, they're quick, they're fun. And I think it's just a perfect tool to get around the valley in the in the summertime.
Especially during the summertime, but then look at how beefy these tires are. I feel like you could ride these things in the winter pretty well if you're bold.
You could. The ice does get a little scary. We definitely have another tire that we'll be putting on some of the bikes for the wintertime, more of like kind of compared to like a snow tire. But yeah, they definitely have some off-road capabilities, especially with the one you're on with the full suspension. So so definitely a very capable bike.
And we've got 3 models right here, so let's talk about this one really quickly.
Yep. So this right here is our base model, most cost-effective, definitely not a lot of the frills, no front suspension, no light, but definitely a good starting point, 750-watt battery. And then next up is our most popular model. This is actually our most popular color as well. This is called the S2. It's going to have a 960-watt battery, front suspension, LED light, mechanical brakes, a range of about 40 miles, and it goes about 30 miles an hour, 31, 32 miles an hour.
That's speedy.
That's speedy. That's breaking some laws.
And then what about this one right here?
So that's basically going to have the same battery, same speed, about 30, LED light. It actually has a horn, which is pretty nice. So if someone's going to cut you off, you can definitely blast them. As well as rear suspension, and then the bigger tires as well. So that's kind of our high-end model.
I really want to push this horn.
We got to turn it on first.
All right.
Give it a second.
Okay. All right. We'll keep talking about bikes then, and then I'll launch the horn in here. And so if people are interested, they can come in here and buy bikes.
Yep. So basically the big thing is we like to get them on the bike, because once they get on the bike, they come back to the shop and they're just like smiling. They're smiling ear to ear. So that's the horn.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty solid horn.
Yeah, so we just like to get people in here, try out the bikes. 8 times out of 10, Pumpkin gets on the bike and they come back in. They're like, I need one of these. And then they go home, their wife, their significant other tries it, and then they wind up coming back and buying a second one. So it's definitely been a pretty fun thing to have people pretty stoked out about these things.
And you guys are one of the few places in the valley that are carrying this specific model.
So we're technically the only dealer of Super 73, especially with the higher end models. There's another big box store has them, but we're the only ones that actually have the high end models.
Which these are really fun for people to get out, and so I think that maybe you and I should go ride some bikes.
Let's ride.
Perfect. We're going to go take these bad boys out for a spin, but we're going to take you along on the adventure. So we're going to get geared up, and then we're going to get outside. Stay tuned. We've made our way outside. We're on the bikes. We've got our safety first on. Make sure we're nice and safe out there. So, Chris, how do we use the bikes?
So basically, that's the horn. This is a bell. So if anyone gets in your way, you're prepared. So these have 2 different settings. You can do pedal assist, or you can use actually the throttle, which is right here. When the brake is engaged, you cannot use the throttle. So how I like to start out is by kind of getting a little lift off with a little throttle, and then you're right into your pedal assist.
Perfect.
Same thing as most bikes. You got your rear brake, you got your front brake. Pretty simple. It's just like riding a bike.
Oh my goodness.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I love a good dad joke.
Yeah.
So if people are interested to come ride the bikes, test them out, they can
Yep.
just come find you at your shop. Where are you guys located?
We are here in beautiful Eagle Vale, Colorado, also known as the Green Mile. We're right next to Pier 13 Liquors, Huga Life, Big O Tires adjacent. Yeah, we got everything right here.
And do the helmets come with the bikes?
If you really want one of these lovely peach salmon pink helmets, I'll give you one for free.
if you buy a bike.
Only if you buy a bike.
Yeah, that's the stipulation.
Absolutely.
You have to buy a bike.
Yep.
All right, well, so you've got some accessories on yours. Let's talk about those really quickly. Not only do you have the speaker attached to the bike for the fun of it, but you've also got your trusted sidekick, Koa, in the back.
I actually forgot she was back there. You're being such a good girl. You're being such a good girl. So yeah, we've got this bike outfitted with some racks, a basket, some chrome bags, speaker, phone holder, a little bell. This has a lot of the common things that we put on the bikes,
And
especially the dog.
Especially the dog. If you have a dog that can fit in the basket, they'll give you a basket to put your dog in the basket. I'm gonna need like a suitcase size basket to put my dog in there.
Yeah, you might need a little sidecar.
Oh,
They make them.
Wow, look at, and can you special order those for people?
For sure.
God. You're just making everyone's dreams come true.
That's what I do.
I think that we should go for a nice little bike ride, but before we go for a bike ride, I think that we do the proper send-off.
Let's ride.
Following you.
Okay, here we go.
You.
And squeal.
Chris, these bikes are a ton of fun. I think everyone needs one in their life.
Everyone.
Everyone.
But we only have 20 left, so.
20 left, that's it.
That's it for the year.
Wow, so if you want a bike, you have to come into Ski Town All-Stars right now and get your hands on a Super 73.
Yes, ma'am.
That simple.
That's simple. Just come on in. Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on their door. Get a bike from Ski Town All-Stars. One more time, where are you guys located and what are your hours so people can make sure that they get their hands on the bike properly?
We are in Eagleville, Colorado on the Green Mile, next to Pier 13 Liquors. We are here 9-ish to 6-ish Monday through Friday, and then 10-ish to 2:30-ish on Saturday.
Chris, thank you so much for all of the fun. We're going to keep riding bikes because it's a ton of fun, but we hope to see you come visit them at Ski Town All-Stars. All right, let's go.
You!
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
If you haven't seen Good Day Vail lately, here's what you've been missing. Zach, and I'm the host of Good Day Vail, and you can find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92 or on our website at tv8vail.com and on YouTube. We're here to serve the Vail Valley, and we look forward to sharing our story with all of you.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Here at Sun and Ski Sports, we are all about having the best summer adventures. Our full-service bike shop is here to help you get back on the saddle with services ranging from simple tire changes, full bike overhauls, and rentals. If trail running, hiking, or trips to the lake are your thing, our expert staff will fit you in the best performing footwear or clothing. And don't forget about a relaxing day on the water with our stand-up paddleboard rentals. Call Sun and Ski Sports in Avon or Dillon today or learn more at sunandski.com/CO.
Good morning, Vail, and welcome back to the second hour of our Friday edition show. It has been quite the adventuresome first hour. We're going to head out and talk about some things that are a little more cerebral in the second hour. We've got a discussion with Ben and a virtual book club, an interesting conversation about the science and how it works with your nerves and your brain, plant-based chorizo dip, lots of other things going on. Mark is still out there in the community fly fishing and living his best adventure life. So stay tuned, lots more in the second hour of Good Morning Vail. It starts right now.
Get up, get ready to start your day. The mountains are calling you out to play. Come on, we'll make you feel right at home. Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
I love how Kim put it that I'm out in the community, in the river community, the fish community. It's awfully tranquil down here. Sounds great on the river today. Let's take a look at your weather report. Talk about what's coming your way for Fridays. We are knocking on the doors to the weekend. We are going to see temperatures right about now, 57 degrees in Vail in the sunshine. It feels a little bit cooler down here in the shade. And for Vail, probably 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to see a high temperature right around 75 degrees. It's going to be a nice day. We are going to have windy conditions around Eagle County in just a little bit. See 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts coming throughout Eagle County, starting in Eagle all the way up towards Vail. For Vail's high temperature once again today, about 73 degrees, 75 degrees. Your hourly forecast, temperature's warming up. As soon as that sun makes its way out, we'll see about close to 70 degrees at noontime. We'll see about 66 degrees at 8 o'clock tonight, and sunshine for all of Eagle County. Really a high pressure system all out towards the west as we make our way into the weekend. Denver temperatures today close to 90 degrees, 88 for a high. Partly cloudy skies there. 75 for Vail, 76 for Avon. And then we'll see 80 degrees and windy and dusty to the west towards Eagle and Gypsum. Evening lows tonight, we're going to be pretty mild, about 43 degrees. 10% chance of some cloud cover. Sun setting at 8:38, and then our 5-day, Saturday through Wednesday, 70 degrees and sunny for Saturday. And then temperatures Sunday through Wednesday, we're looking at mid to upper 70s once again, all for Vail, a little bit warmer to the west towards Avon, and even warmer towards Eagle and Gypsum. But sunshine for us right now. So apply that sunscreen, everybody, and apply it often just to protect yourself, and hydrate a lot also. Hey, I want to talk about, once again, more things happening around Eagle County if we haven't touched on enough of them already. There's always action for everybody on all levels. And Avijah, one of our talent, one of our hosts at TV8, puts together a program, a segment called Vail Vibes. and it's all about what's happening in Vail currently. Let's take a look at the next installment of Vail Vibes with Avijah.
Hi friends, Avijah Scarbrough here. Welcome to Vail Vibes. I'm super excited because we are in the midst of an amazing summer. The Valley is alive with music. This week was opening night for Bravo Vail's Music Festival with the return of Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, joined by Anne-Marie McDermott. This Saturday and Sunday, the concert series at Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater continues with the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields music director and superstar violinist Joshua Bell. And if rock music is more your thing, well then there's Moe's Original Barbecue's Hot Summer Nights free concert series at the Amphitheater. On Tuesday, June 27th, the Classic Albums Live Modern Day Orchestra will recreate note for note the David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars album. Beloved local musician Andy Seifert will be playing multiple shows this weekend. Saturday, he'll be at the Red Lion and the Remedy Bar in the Four Seasons, and Sunday, he'll play at the Red Lion and Le Tour Restaurant and Bar in Vail. Check out his website for more details. Beaver Creek also loves their live music. Every Saturday, Beaver Creek Dance Party will have free live music and dance instruction in the Village Core from 7 to 9 p.m. Music and moves range from country to swing and everything in between. And we can't forget about Sunset Live in Avon this Sunday at the Terrace at the Avon Performance Pavilion. Enjoy a spectacular sunset and great music while lounging on your stand-up paddleboard or paddle boat on Nottingham Lake, the North Shore Beach, or South Lawn at the Pavilion. And make sure to leave a little time for shopping. The Vail Farmers Market and Art Show continues every Sunday morning at 9:30, and Minturn's Farmer Market is every Saturday at 9. This Saturday, June 24th, the Minturn Market is celebrating its 26th season with a special Makers Market. That's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Avijah Scarbrough, and I'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork Valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Do you love the outdoor lifestyle? Make sure you tune in every day at 7 p.m. to catch Scoreboard Nation. It's an outdoor lifestyle show dedicated to your 3 favorite mountain towns, Vail, Beaver Creek, Park City, and Reno, Tahoe. Join us for an incredible venture. Find us on TV8 Vail, Park City Television, or at thescoreboardnation.com. We can't wait to see you there.
When people think of world-class destinations, they're drawn to a place that provides opportunities for fine dining, shopping, superior lodging, exciting events, and unparalleled outdoor activities. Park City, Utah, and Vail, Colorado are renowned destinations for travelers and extraordinary homes for residents. Feature your exceptional products and services in these 2 luxury communities. Advertise with Park City Television and TV8 Vail. Contact us today.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Now, if you are looking for something fun to do and to join a book club or, have some time to listen to a great podcast, Ben had a conversation with Mountain Town author Terry Sidford to talk about her new virtual book club. Let's have a look.
We are joined by Terry Sidford, an author, podcaster, TEDx speaker, and just general personality. Welcome to the show, Terry.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a new book club that's just started, right? You had your first one yesterday, I believe. How did that go?
I did. Yes, it was Truth, Courage, Love. It's based on my memoir that was released in January of this year. And I wanted to dive deeper into the book and talk about concepts that I learned in my life journey that's in my book.
So before we get into your book a little bit, tell us a little bit about your book club and kind of what the impetus for that was, how it got started, and does it focus on a specific theme, or does that theme change from week to week?
Good question. What I decided to do is talk about different concepts, which I have many concepts in my book, but the title is Truth, Courage, and Love. So the first meeting last night, we talked about truth and all the aspects of truth and how truth played a part in my life journey and invaluable lessons to overcoming adversity. And then I asked the people, the guests that are joining about the truth in their own life. And I'm hoping that most people that join the book club have read the book. And if not, they can still join and read it later. But we just kind of dived deeper into the concept of truth. And it was very lively, and everyone walked away with a new viewpoint.
It sounds fantastic. So it seems like everything went well. Tell us a little bit about your book and that concept of truth.
Thank you. The book was designed to tell the story of my life, of course, a memoir, and how I turned adversity into incredible life lessons that really led me to the life that I have now, and that is a happy, fulfilling, and successful life. And I want everyone to know when they read my book that it doesn't matter what you've gone through in your life. You really can turn adversity into opportunities, lessons, and you can grow and you can start over. If I can do it, so can you.
So let me ask you a little bit about how you got started in writing in general. I know it's like a lot of people have stories to tell, but sitting down at a blank page can be quite a daunting task. And I know a lot of people can look at that and just give up right away. What was sort of your drive to complete a memoir?
Yes, writing isn't something I thought I would do in my lifetime. In fact, when I grew up, I was horrible at grammar and spelling. So writing was just not even on the radar. But what happened is I was a life coach for over 20 years, and I was sitting down and having coffee with a friend and telling her how amazing women were, because I mostly worked with women, and that they were really strong, courageous, but never saw it in themselves. My friend asked me, Terry, that's an interesting subject. Wouldn't you like to know the answer to that? I'm like, sure, I would love that. She said, I think you should write a book about it, create a survey, and gather it from 100 women. And I just started laughing. I'm like, no, I can't write a book. I'm not a writer. I can't do that. And she looked me in the eye and said, listen, let's get the information and I will help you write the book. And that's how it all started. And here I am now in my second book. And it was much easier, of course, the second time. But, if you have a story, you have a message out there, and you want to get it out in a book or even, in some other form, you can always ask the experts. There's people out there that are willing to help you. So that's my best advice. I never thought I'd be here, and it was really, truly been one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life.
Well, and I guess that brings us to courage a little bit. Having that courage to reach out and ask for help with some of these projects that you might not necessarily have every little bit of information for. Is that the subject of your upcoming book club?
Yes, we talk about that. In fact, our next one, which is going to be on July 26th, we're going to be talking about courage. And that's a huge concept and a very important part of my life. And the things that I'm most proud of that I've accomplished in my life have taken a lot of courage. And it's kind of stepping out into what you think you can't do or you never thought is possible into the possibilities of your life. That's what courage can do. And it's facing the fear, going through it, and getting on the other side. And it's really very exciting when you get to the other side of that.
Well, you mentioned a couple of times, like starting over and taking a new start at life. Is there any advice you have for people that are kind of looking down the barrel of a major change like that?
Yes, I do. Ask for help, first of all. Surround yourself with people that really care about you and have your best interest in mind. And there's always people out there to help you. That's number one. Number two, dig deep and know that who you are inside, that person, that soul, whatever you, spirit, whatever you want to call that, it's whole inside. Go find that person, take some time, and know that all these outside circumstances are really going to be temporary. And you know, take care of yourself, self-care. And then once you get past that step, take the next step. And all of a sudden things will start to seem brighter, and you'll start to see possibilities. And you'll learn from any mistake or anything that has happened in your life. Even if somebody has done something to you, make sure that you do not become a victim. Out-create whatever happened and become that superhero of your life.
It's fantastic advice. And so let me then ask you about how that sort of moves into that love concept as well, like being forgiving perhaps, maybe being just loving of yourself in the event that you're having a rough time.
Yes, that's a very, very good transition. Really, if you can't forgive yourself, then you really can't love yourself. So they're kind of one and the other. You know, if you have done something that you feel like you shouldn't have done and you're just being really hard on yourself, give yourself some love like you would a best friend. Forgive yourself. And that allows you to also forgive other people. And that brings you back to opening your heart. And it does take courage to do that. And forgiveness is a concept a lot of people have a hard time with. But when you don't forgive, you're not hurting that other person, you're only hurting yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to agree and condone what happened. It just releases you from the negative energy so that you can get back your power and you can start opening your heart up to love again. And that's where our power is making sure that we're always staying connected to our heart. And courage also helps you do that.
That's something that I've definitely noticed, how like when we do get kind of sucked into that negative cycle and we get angry with ourselves or some circumstances in our life, it does really rob us of that power to make change or to take action. It's definitely something that I've noticed and something that's led me to more of a mindful practice in my life.
Wonderful.
What do you guys have this coming up book club? Is that going to be focusing again on your memoir, or are you going to have a new guest?
The first three meetings are going to be based on my memoir. So we're going to talk about truth, which was last night. And the next one, end of July, will be about courage. And then in August, we will talk about love. And then I'm going to add guests to our program. So guest authors that have something to say.
Well, fantastic. So, Terry, if there's anything else that you'd like to share with us or anywhere that people can get a hold of you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my website or on Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media links. But go to my website. Everything is there. It's Terry, Terry, Sidford, Sidford, .com, and reach out to me. I would love to help you, and we have a lot of fun things going on, and you can find my book there. You can also go to Amazon to find my book, Truth, Courage, and Love.
Awesome. Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us, and if you guys would like to join her book club, the next opportunity, is coming up July 22nd, correct?
July 26th.
26th.
Yes,
well,
at 5:30 Mountain Time.
Awesome. Well, Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello everyone, now is the time to refresh your floors. I'm Mandy Benedict. I'd love to invite you into our showroom to explore our 12,000 square foot showroom where you can view all different floors installed, see what it looks like in a larger space. One of our greatest growing products is waterproof wood flooring, which for our environment with kids and dogs and ski boot and our mountain lifestyle, this is a great flooring option. I brought one of the planks with me today. They're nice, long, wide planks. They're embossed on grain, so they look beautiful, but they perform really well in our mountain lifestyle. We have all employee installers. They've been working for over a decade with us, and we have a lifetime installation warranty. So not only do we make sure that the client gets what they want, we know what this climate needs. We have beautiful reclaimed floors, herringbone, really anything that you're looking for to update your home or your business. We have it at Rugs Benedict. We provide free estimates. So come in and visit us in the store. We'd love to see you.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Found a great spot where there's some calm water, where this fish might be chilling out right now to stay out of the current. Sun has made its way up and over the hillside, as you can see, just a little bit. It's gonna warm up quickly now that we have the sun up and over the hill. We saw 57 degrees, I think, first thing at 8 o'clock this morning in Vail. For Vail's high temperature, probably about 3:30 in the afternoon. We'll see a high temperature of about 75 degrees, so a nice day for the Vail area. Your hourly forecast showcases sunshine all day long. But keep in mind, it is going to be windy all around Eagle County soon enough here. We're going to have gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour a little bit later on this morning. Once again, with that high temperature, 75 coming in about 2 to 3:30 this afternoon. Denver temperature is pretty warm today, about 88 degrees, close to 90 degrees. They're going to have a little bit of cloud cover, but not too much. For Vail, 75 and sunny. For Avon, 76 and sunshine. And then for Eagle, 80 degrees. Breezy and dusty is what the National Weather Service is calling for in Eagle today. It's going to be dusty. Tonight's low is going to be about 43 degrees. 10% chance of a little bit of cloud cover. Not much happening in terms of moisture. We'll see that sun setting at 8:38. Once again, we had the longest day of the year yesterday, so we're not going to see that sun set any later from here on out. It's going to start setting earlier and earlier until the winter solstice, believe it or not. Your 5-day forecast, 70 and sunny for Saturday. And then for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, temperatures upper 70s, 76, 78, 78, 76, and mostly sunny skies all the way through the middle of next week. So we'll take that right now. We had a long, cold, kind of a rainy spring, early summer, and this sunshine and nice weather is well deserved. Right, so I was leaving the TV8 studios this morning, and as I was leaving, I noticed there's these bike stands all around Avon to start. I saw 3 or 4 different bike stands. The company's called Shift, and they are commuter, get-around, rentable e-bikes where you just go up and plug your information in. The bike unlocks, you take it where you need to go, you can drop it off at another charging station. The bikes are called Shift, commuter e-bikes. And let's take a closer look at what they're all about in case you need something to get around while you're here visiting.
Welcome to the TV8 Visitors Bureau. I'm one of your hosts, Maddie Evans. Now we've got a really cool new concept taking place here in the town of Avon, Eaglevale, and Vail. And it's a great way to use as an alternative. Instead of driving your car, you can shift your ride to one of these incredible electric bikes behind me. Now this is a really cool rental system, and you can control it all right from the power of your hands, right from your cell phone by downloading the Shift Bike app. And then from there, you can get over there and enjoy the incredible amenities that these bikes have to offer. We're going to walk you through it, but in order to do it, you have to download the app. So Shift Bike is the app, and then you can use the coupon code Shift Your Ride for the first 30 minutes free. And we're going to walk you through the pricing and everything here and how you can get one of the bikes. Let's get started. Once you get into the app, you can see exactly which location you would like to pick up the bike, how many bikes are available, and then where you can deliver the bike to. So you can see starting in Avon, making your way through Eaglevale, all the way to Vail Village, and then even down into East Vail. You can collect bikes, drop bikes off, and enjoy your ride on these nice electric bikes. Once you've scanned the QR code to get the bike unlocked, it's really important that you have safety first, so always make sure that you have your helmet with you. That way you can pop that on and you're nice and safe. Now, once you get the bike unlocked, it's super easy. You'll just take that lock right off the back. You'll see that you'll have this big, nice coiled cord, but there's a hook on the back for you to hook that to so that it is nice and out of your way while you are riding the bike. That way you're nice and safe and everyone around you is nice and safe so you don't tip over on the bike. And then once you've got that all secured, you're all set to go. You can just kick that kickstand up and start enjoying your ride. Now remember that these are pedal assist and there are some rules. To get the bike back to where you got it or to get it to your next destination, you can always use the app to see all of the great places where you can drop these off. Once you are done on your adventure on the Shift bikes, they're a ton of fun, and you can see that you can get going pretty fast on them, especially with that nice little pedal assist. You'll take the bike back, lock it back up in one of the great charging stations that they have available, and then once you're done locking it up, make sure that you take your app out and you end the ride, because it is going to make sure that that bike is in the correct spot for you to have ended your ride, and that way it will not continue to charge you. That has been this edition of the TV8 Visitors Bureau. We can't wait to bring you more great information, but make sure that you get out there and you use the Shift bike to shift your ride throughout the community.
Good morning, Vail.
It's that time where we're talking Sun and Ski Sports Product of the Week. Now, if you're making your way out to do any water activities, it's important that you have the right protection with you, and especially since our water levels are so high from all of that precipitation that we saw over the course of the winter and now that snow runoff. So right now, I've got the Onyx Move Vent Life Vest in front of me. This vest has some great features to it, one of which being soft, lightweight foam flotation. Now, if you are looking for this in your kayaks or in your canoes and you want that nice mesh back, well, then it has that feature, making it more comfortable for you to sit anywhere where there's a high back and you need to be nice and safe out there. Now, as you're making your way out into the water, there is a built-in whistle so that if you need to be heard, you can make yourself heard with this lovely whistle. There's also some nice reflection pieces, making it easy for you to be seen as you're out there, and especially if you're doing it first thing in the morning or later into the afternoon when you're out there on the rivers or on the lakes. So make sure that you stop by Sun & Ski Sports and you check out all of their great inventory for these nice pieces that are going to keep you safe out there on the waters. Now you can always go to their website at sunandski.com for some more information or for some more fabulous products that'll keep you safe out there on the water.
Nap Harvest, your local marketplace for fresh, locally produced products. Our indoor farmers market is open 7 days a week, featuring locally grown organic produce, prepared meals, honey from our Nap Nectar hive, furniture, cutting boards, and much more. We source and sell locally grown and produced products from the Vail and Roaring Fork valleys. Visit us at our new location in Eagle Ranch, 717 Sylvan Lake Road, next door to Color Coffee Roasters.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Time to rise and shine? There's no better way to start your day off than with the Good Morning Vail crew. You asked for more and TV8 delivered. Good Morning Vail is here for you with your local news, sports, weather, and community events every morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. No matter the season, we give you a reason to watch, so grab your coffee and join the fun. Live stream us at tv8vail.com or on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. And remember, there's more for you on 92.
Good morning, Vail.
And we are back. Now, there are so many fun and delicious alternatives to eating meat. And we've got the founder of Before the Butcher and creator of a plant-based chorizo, Danny, here to show us how to make a plant-based chorizo dip. So let's take a look at that recipe and hear all that Danny has to say.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Liz. We have a very special guest. If you're hungry, you're going to really enjoy this segment. I have Danny O'Malley. Now, he is the founder and president of a company called Before the Butcher. And what that means is sustainable, beautiful food that is all vegetarian. Is that correct, Danny?
You are correct. It's actually vegan, so it does make it vegetarian as well.
So vegan, that means just nothing with eyes, nothing like that. And you are literally going to show us something, how to make, and it's all protein-based plants.
That's correct. Exactly right. So we have our uncut ground chorizo, which is the base of the dip that we're going to make.
I hear your dog barking.
Oh, yes.
Wants some.
He's our official taste tester. You can check him out.
Oh, my God, my little heart. Look at that sweet.
Yeah. So he's the official taste tester. So, the thing I love, Liz, about this recipe is it is so simple and it's so easy to put it together. And it just things that you can find either already in your refrigerator or you can just jump out to the local store and pick it up. You can pick up a plant-based chorizo in most of your local grocery markets. This is the uncut brand that my company makes. But we also have cheese. We're using a vegan cheese here, but you obviously can use a regular cheese if you want to make it vegetarian. And this is evaporated milk. It's coconut milk, so that's vegan as well. We have chopped tomatoes, and we have diced green chilies here. And then we just add a little bit of green onions on top of it all. And I'm going to walk you through it. It is so easy. It's a lot of fun. It's actually great for the family to do together. And then afterwards, you have this delicious chorizo dip. Over here, we've already got the chorizo cooking, right? And then we make it real simple, right? You're going to take those tomatoes that we showed you. We're just going to dump those in.
Okay.
And then we're going to take the green chilies, and we're going to dump those in.
Yummy.
Right? Yeah, so it's going to have a little bit of a spice. The chorizo already has some spice to it. The chili, obviously, depending on the chilies that you pick up, you can pick up spicy ones or mild ones. So it'll have a little bit of a spice here. And I'm just mixing all of these up while the pan is still hot. You can see some of the steam coming off that.
And that's a great way for it to cook fully through, correct? When the pan is already all heated all the way through the entire amount of the pan, it's a better way to get the full cooking experience, correct?
That's exactly right, because you're adding ingredients that are usually room temperature or already cold.
Right.
And then you're adding it to a hot pan with hot ingredients in there already. So you can see that already mixed up. And I tell you, this is really healthy. It's also gluten-free.
I can't believe, number one, it's vegan. Number two, it's gluten-free. Number three, there's zero meat in there, and yet you can come up with the flavor and deliciousness of chorizo and cheese and a full dip. What did you just put in there? The milk? The condensed
that
milk?
is the evaporated milk.
Evaporated milk.
So that's going to give it kind of a creamy richness to it, smooth it out real nicely. We're going to mix this up real nice as well.
Okay, I want to go swimming in that right now. It looks so good.
Well, the beauty of this is, I do let it simmer for a little while. We're not going to do that today. We don't have all the time to do that. But you could literally put this together in a matter of minutes and dig right in for the big game. And we know what the big game is coming up, right?
We do, and this is a great idea for all the pregame parties, but not only for sports and adventures. You can literally have a nice Sunday afternoon with a bunch of friends gathering together or your family and make this dip, and everybody will just sit around with, well, we have to use gluten-free, maybe chips or maybe some vegetables that you can put inside. Like you can do celery dips and carrots and broccoli and all that good stuff. Look at that. It's thickening up with that cheese.
Yeah, I added cheese to this. This is a vegan mix here, a little jack and cheddar. And now I added about 75-80% of the cheese because I like to sprinkle a little bit on top at the end. I just love that little bit of cheese on top, even though it's mixed in there and it's already cheese. Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I love it. That
So
looks amazing.
I got to tell you, Liz, you're hardly going to believe it, but we are done. That's it.
That's it?
Yes.
Can I have
it
some,
is that
please?
simple. You sure can. So I'm going to sprinkle that cheese on top that I love. So, oh man, I grew up in Wisconsin, live in California, so I am a cheese guy. I love cheese. And then some green onions.
Oh, those are one of my favorite
things. You can chop those up
things.
finer. Yeah.
I love those. That looks
Now,
incredible. I want it now. Can I reach in?
Well, I'm gonna show you the best part. I've got some corn chips. I love corn chips, and of course, corn chips are gluten free as well.
Right.
Vegan.
Yes.
So here's the best part, Liz. I'm going to send this to you in the mail.
Oh my God! Virtually, I'm so jealous. Oh, it looks so good.
It is so good.
Really, I can literally taste it.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. The other beauty of this is, like anything else that you cook like this, especially a dip like this, we can't eat all this in a day, right? Unless I have a big party over for the big game. But you can definitely put this in a refrigerator and heat it up a day later, 2 days later. It's even better. It is so good.
Is it microwavable?
Yes, absolutely. You can put this baby right, as long as you have a microwavable dish, right? Put it right in the microwave, heat it up, and it's great.
No metal pans, please. But I have to say, let me ask you a question. So the chorizo is vegan. How do they go about that? I know this is a product of yours within your company Before the Butcher. How do they go about making something like this that, oh, look at that baby. Sorry. What a cute dog. That's a King Charles Cavalier?
It is. This is Rupert, and he's my official taste tester for just about everything I do.
Rupert, how is the cheese dip? Yeah, I thought so. Yummy. So the chorizo, how do you make it? It's all through plants and vegetables?
It is. We use a non-GMO soybean as the base of it all, and then we have a proprietary mixed blend of spices, all natural blend of spices. It's all plant-based. It's also gluten-free and non-GMO. It's really fantastic product. The key really to that is, I'm going to let you down, buddy.
Oh.
There he goes. The key there is really the texture. It has an amazing bite and chew and texture that would remind you of regular animal-based proteins like a regular chorizo you might eat, a ground. And the flavor is excellent. When you mix it up like we did right here, put it in a dip like this, you just don't know the difference. It is so fantastic, and it's cholesterol-free as well, which is really important.
Especially today with all of our health and everything that we really want to take care of. And, you know, there's so many people out there that don't want to deal with any animal or vegetable, like the fats and all of that stuff. So you have your
Right.
alternatives. And this is just this is only one recipe that you have showed us today. Now, is there a way that people can go online and see lots of other recipes?
Sure.
Yeah.
You can go to beforethebutcher.com or btbfoods.com, and we have this recipe amongst a whole bunch of other fantastic recipes that you can make up yourself at home. And if you're interested in the products that we make specifically, you can just go to beforethebutcher.com and we'll send it to you. Make it real easy.
I think that's an amazing idea. I have to say, Danny, I'm really hungry now that I'm sitting here watching you make that amazing dip. It looks really, really good. And for the fact that it has the texture and the flavor and all the spices and everything you need to enjoy anything that would be animal-based without the animal, it's right there in my book. And I think that's a beautiful, beautiful experience. I can't thank you enough, Danny O'Malley. How long have you had Before the Butcher as a company?
I started Before the Butcher in 2017, in September 2017, so we're going on almost 6 years now. We're not going anywhere. We're going to be around for a long time, and we're every day we're looking at new products. We just finished making a pepperoni, a sliced pepperoni, that would absolutely knock your socks off. It is so good. It looks fantastic. Bite, chew, texture, and taste is just amazing.
Okay, I'm going online, beforethebutcher.com. Danny, I can't thank you enough for being part of our program and showing us this incredible recipe and so many more great things. We can stay healthy, we can stay vibrant, we can be alive for a lot longer if we just choose to eat properly. And Before the Butcher is the way to go. Danny O'Malley, thank you very much for being part of our program today.
Thank you, Liz. I appreciate the time.
All right, cryovac that and send it on over, everybody. We're going to really enjoy that. And thanks again to Danny from Before the Butcher right here on our very special program. We'll be back with more show right after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi there. I hope you join me on Good Day Vail today because this episode is going to be one you don't want to miss. It's about how we all, men, women, and others, age gracefully. So please join us, Good Day Vail. I'm Cece Zach, later on today. Have a great one.
TV8 se complace en compartir que nos estamos preparando para lanzar nueva programación en español. Pero antes de hacerlo, queremos saber de ti, nuestra increíble comunidad, sobre lo que tú quieres ver. Por eso, te invitamos a un evento especial en nuestro estudio el 12 de julio a las 6 de la tarde. Ven a compartir tus ideas, opiniones y visiones sobre el futuro de nuestra programación en español. Ya sean eventos locales, programas educativos o entretenimiento, queremos que tú formes parte de este proceso y ayudes a dar forma a nuestra programación. No te pierdas esta maravillosa oportunidad de ser parte de televisión que te refleja y te representa. Para más información y para confirmar tu asistencia, visita tv8vail.com. TV8 is excited to share that we're preparing to launch new programming in Spanish. But before we do, we want to hear from you, our incredible community, about what you want to see. That's why we invite you to a special event at our studio on July 12th at 6 p.m. Come share your ideas, opinions, and visions regarding the future of our Spanish programming. Whether it's local events, educational programs, or entertainment, we want you to be a part of this process and help shape our Spanish programming. Don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity to be a part of television that reflects and represents you. For full details and to RSVP, visit tv8vail.com.
Join us on the Leadville Railroad. This fun-filled train ride takes you and your family on an unforgettable trip through the heart of the Rockies for a half-day trip of adventure, relaxation, and sightseeing. Enjoy the spectacular Colorado scenery. Even meet the engineer. Book your adventure on the Leadville Railroad today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Vail Skin and Lashes, located in the heart of Avon, offers a full array of aesthetic and medical treatments and services. We feature only the highest quality products in an upscale medical-grade skincare boutique. Experience this luxurious, welcoming, and inviting environment. We are dedicated to providing expert personalized care, artistry, wellness, beauty. That's Vail Skin and Lashes Medical Spa.
Good morning, Vail.
It has just been such an eventful morning with cooking recipes and virtual book clubs, but not to fear, we still have a little bit more here on this Friday morning edition of Good Morning Vail. We had a conversation with Rachel Tenenbaum, who is a transformational coach. And what that means is basically she'll give you some advice on how to manage stress. So let's have a conversation. I know that's someone everybody would love to hear about, so let's hear a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Rachel Tenenbaum, and I am a neurotransformational coach. That's a mouthful, I know. Effectively, what that means is that I help people understand and tinker with their brains so that they can get more of the results and the meaningful change that they want out of their lives and out of their leadership. Have you ever been so stressed that it was overwhelming, that it riddled your body? I've had that moment. I was living in New York. I was working exhaustive hours. I prided myself on being able to handle more than most, overseeing and managing many diverse aspects of the business, but I was overwhelmed and I felt undersupported. I was traveling almost every week, sometimes multiple times a week, and I was holding on by a thread. But I was holding on. And then, in the course of 1 week, I broke up with my best friend, the man that I was going to marry, and it was heartbreaking. I had to say goodbye to the very entrenched future that we had envisioned, and to my rock, my support. That was a lot on that already thin thread. And then, in that same week, not even 2 days later, my mother called. My grandmother's cancer had returned, and they needed to operate immediately. But in her condition and in her age, they didn't know if she would survive. And the next day, my father called. He had prostate cancer, and it had riddled his body. Within days, I was so stressed I was throwing up bile and foam, and I couldn't even see out of one eye. I was rushed to the hospital, and doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong, so eventually they told me it must be stress. And you would think that that would have been the moment, that would have been the moment that had me shift everything. But in many ways, I went back to my old ways, but it did plant some really critical seeds. I began to look at how I was living my life, what was running in my life, my choices, the drivers, how I was managing stress. And over the course of the following months and the following years, I took courses. I dug into trainings, I read books, and I realized with time something essential. Down to my bones, and it's like I woke up. I realized that while we do not always have the ability to change circumstances, and while we do not always have control over what happens, we do have control over how we respond to it. We do have control over how we experience it. And it is courageous and also one of the most difficult things for us to do as human beings. And when we do, when we truly begin to take ownership over our lives and our experiences, the floodgates to our potential, the floodgates to the ways in which we get to experience and live our lives open up. There's this wild misperception that stress is a bad thing. Stress can actually be an extraordinarily good thing. And when we have too much stress, when we don't know how to manage our stress, when stress overwhelms and overtakes us and we don't have the tools to short circuit the flow of chemicals in our brain, our body, that's when we get overwhelmed. That's when we break. That's when we burn out. And right now, across the country, across the globe, people are burning out minute after minute after minute. And so one of the most essential things that we can begin to understand is not only the correlation between stress and our well-being and how we actually do need stress, but how when we get from that sort of, it's called Goldilocks, that Goldilocks sweet spot of just right into the too much, how do we get ourselves from that too much back to that just right? Or how do we begin to notice that we're stepping over the line of that just right into too much? Because the more and more that we get to know ourselves, the more and more that we get to know our personal poker tells, which help us know when we're getting from just right to too much, the more that we can short circuit and mitigate that overflow of chemicals so that we're not overwhelmed. Because when we have too much stress, we can't think clearly. we can't see completely. It narrows our scope of vision. It narrows what we're able to hear. And so we're taking in less data, less information, and then we're acting on a very narrow snippet of data and information, which doesn't support us. It doesn't support us in our relationships. It does not support us in our careers and our leadership. I have a client who, I think at the end of the day, a big part of what I help people do is live more in alignment with who they are and their greater goals, right? And I have a client who, exceptional human being, but when we started our work together, you might be able to relate, had many successes, but didn't truly believe and own his potential.
Right.
And so constantly, this is an executive, constantly did not believe in his own potential. And he was chasing after a C-suite position of major global companies because he wanted to prove, not just to himself, but to his deceased father and to a deceased boss, just how successful he could be. And imagine building your life, and so many of us do this, trying to prove to somebody who no longer even exists on this realm what our potential is. And so when we took a step back and we actually looked at what he wanted for his life and what he wanted to create, he realized that he wanted to really spend time with this new family that he was creating. He was getting married for the second time, having a second child. He was creating a new family. He wanted to spend more time with the daughter that he already had. She was already in her late teens, and that mattered to him. So when he got offered the COO position of a major global company, he opted for a great executive position at another company because it would enable him to live in a way that was aligned for him. Because when you do that, it actually increases productivity, it increases well-being, it supports the whole. There's a wonderful Buddhist saying that you can't stop the first arrow, the things that happen in life, but you can stop the second. That second arrow is how we feel about those moments. It's how much we ruminate over those moments. And for me, it's not just the second arrow, it's the 200th and the 2000th arrow. Because oftentimes we'll take that arrow out and then we'll just have fun stabbing ourselves with it. Continuing to think about the things that happened in the past, continuing to think about how it's going to influence the future, continuing to think about how that defines who we are and the future to come. And that pain, that we cause ourselves. Because that moment's past. It is over. And at any moment, with a single breath, we can reset, we can begin again. We do not need to carry those arrows with us into this moment, the next moment, and the future moment. And so one of the greatest things that we can realize is to stop and pause and to realize, okay, something happened. And how much are we living it and reliving it? Because the brain doesn't know the difference between perceived reality, what we create in our minds, and actual reality. And so in those moments, with that second arrow and that 2000th arrow, we are living it again and again and again as if it were happening in that moment, as if it were real. It's multifaceted. First and foremost, it's really providing tools so that people can start to become more self-aware. Because for me, it's about empowering people to be able to do this on their own, right? So that they can navigate, they can become more self-aware, they can be more conscious of their triggers, and then we can start to look at it, right? And I'm really good at not just listening to what's said, but listening to what's not being said and to hearing various levels, and then holding up a mirror. I also say I often shine a flashlight into areas that people don't want to look, or where they're not even conscious, that they're not conscious that those corners exist. And I just shine a flashlight and say, hey, like, is it worth looking here? From what I've noticed. And that enables people, it gives people a greater vision and a greater scope and a greater ability to look at where they are and then chart that right path forward. But also look at what's the hindrance, what's getting in their way between where they are now and where they want to be. And a lot of that often tends to be reactivity or self-debilitating thoughts or fears. And so when we can start to peel those away and actually move beyond them, anything's possible. I've worked with Fortune 100 companies to small and mighty companies. And so when I work with an organization, I don't have a cookie cutter approach. I have a lot of tools, a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of information that once leveraged can be transformative and will be transformative. And it also depends upon where you're at, what the budget is. And so whenever an organization comes to me and says, okay, great, we need support around leadership development, or we need support around stress navigation, we sit down, we look at where you're at, where you want to be, and how much you are able and willing to invest in that. I can be reached at my email, which is Rachel, Rachel, at iamliving.us. And then I believe there's also a QR code that's going to come up on the screen. And with that, there's 3 options. You can book a one-on-one leadership call with me. They'll be able to book a corporate call with me to discuss how I can bring some of these trainings and tools into your organization. And you can also just sign up for the newsletter. And then I do a lot of free events or low-cost events that are available to everybody. And in the newsletter, I always try to share nuggets of information, tips, tools, and tricks. So 3 different links to get whatever it is that will support you the most.
Good morning, Vail.
If you haven't seen Good Day Vail lately, here's what you've been missing. I'm Sassi Zach, and I'm the host of Good Day Vail, and you can find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92 or on our website at tv8vail.com and on YouTube. We're here to serve the Vail Valley, and we look forward to sharing our story with all of you.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Eyepieces of Vail has been a fixture in the Vail community for over 30 years. From designer frames and sunglasses to high-performance sports frames, prescription goggles, and in-demand accessories like helmets, goggle lenses, and foldable reading glasses, our inventory raises the optical bar. Visit one of our 7 locations today and see why generations of loyal customers return time after time for our unmatched service and inventory. Eyepieces, the art of vision.
Good morning, Vail.
We've reached the end of our Good Morning here in Vail, so let's take a look at the weather for the weekend. Beautiful, sunshiny weekend on tap. As you can see, all in the 70s. But let's have a thank you to all of our guests that have joined us here today on this Friday morning edition. As always, love chatting with Mark. We had some fly fishing reports, some wonderful weather updates, and some interesting cycling with the team here at the Cycle Effect. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Are you looking for exciting and nutritious recipes to cook at home? Watch Colorful Cooking with Tracy Miller on TV8 Vail. Tracy brings you the best in fresh and healthy foods for the active outdoor lifestyle. Stream online at tv8vail.com or find us on Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on 92.
Tune into Coffee with America and start your day in the right direction, where we go over the latest and greatest